So we are shifting gears now as we've been discussing and practicing from theories that are non-directive. Cognitive behavior therapy is an approach that has become increasingly popular in recent years as funding sources often mandate evidence-based treatments. CBT has a high degree of structure when compared to any of the approaches that come from the humanistic approach, like Gestalt, person-centered, and existential. To refresh our memory, I've included the typical form of CBT here. First, a clinician will conduct an assessment, then goals are established based on the assessment. These goals will then determine the direction of therapy. The counselor and client usually work together to develop an action-based treatment plan. And based on the agency policies, sometimes state policies such as Medicaid, and even federal policies such as Medicare, the counselor and client will regularly assess the client's treatment. When you guys think about group counseling and CBT, a few things might feel a little bit different. First, your role as a leader is different. Instead of being an encourager, you are now seen as a technical expert. Often, CBT counselors will function as a teacher whenever new skills are a part of the group's purpose. Your specific functions are included here, and I would like you to highlight the last point to help members prepare for termination. As CBT is more structured and directive, a group counselor will need to continuously encourage members to practice and complete homework outside of group and emphasize change. From the very first session, members are aware of the overall structure of the group, including the number of sessions. You might find ways to gently remind members of this throughout the course of the group. A CBT approach lends itself nicely to the initial stages of group work. Having structure early on, as you all know, might serve to reduce initial anxieties of the different members, which in turn can lead to higher levels of cohesion in the group, more motivation for individual members to work outside of group, and a sense of collaboration among members. As the cohesion develops early, a CBT group might move into the working stage more quickly. The leader will maintain an active stance by providing concrete structure for each client and each session. As members work towards their goal in group, the leader's role in the final stage is to encourage transfer of learning to life outside of the group. During this stage, the leader might assume the role of encourager alongside the roles of teacher and technical expert. Regardless of the leader's role, it is important here to emphasize the importance of self-responsibility, which is one of the ways that CBT is similar to many of the other approaches that we've discussed. For those of you who prefer a more directive approach to group work, Corey has provided us with details of several specific group formats based on the CBT approach. Many of these groups would probably fall under psychoeducation rather than psychotherapeutic. In all of these approaches, the rationale is to help group members learn skills that will help them lead self-directed lives. Several of these formats are listed here and on slide 7, but I would encourage you to review all of the text and review your text for further information. CBT is widely used for a variety of client populations. It works well in our managed care society given the emphasis on concrete outcomes. There are many techniques that are appropriate for CBT groups, which means that you as a leader may feel like you have the flexibility you need to tailor interventions to assist each individual client in meeting their goals in a personally meaningful way. For some clients, the high level of structure may feel restricting. In these cases, it will be important for you to balance the directiveness of your approach with other ways of being. As with any approach, I'd urge you to always be sensitive to where your clients are and adjust your approaches to meet them there. For those of you who are leading from this approach next week, I would suggest that you select activities or structure the group so that individual members will have an opportunity to explore how they are progressing in relation to their interpersonal goal. Remember that you can be flexible within the structure of the group and allow your group members to have the opportunity to bring up what is important for them. In other words, don't lose sight of your group members by over-focusing on techniques.